Objection. I shouted louder than I meant to. My voice cracked in middle of courtroom. Every eye turned to me except his. He just reached for the file. That file. The one resting between us on the table. His fingers brushed mine. Light, casual, cold. But my body, it betrayed me. My gland pulsed, sharp, deep inside my neck. Not now. Not him. Not in front of everyone. I stepped back. Slightly. Slowly. Like maybe no one would notice my breath shaking or how my knees softened. He still didn't look at me. 2 years. 2 full years. And yet his scent, that cold, controlled forest after rain kind of scent, hit me like thunder. I thought I forgot it. I thought I healed. But my gland, it remembered. I gripped the table's edge, fingertips going white. The judge said something, but my ears didn't catch. My eyes stared at his side profile. He was calm, confident, dressed in that sharp black suit, silver cufflink shaped like a wolf fang. I remember those. He wore them on the night he said, "It's better if no one knows about us." And still, that night I slept in his bed. Stupid Omega. I lowered my gaze, tried to breathe slow, block the scent, block the heat. Don't let anyone see your throat. But it was too late. The pulsing was strong now. My gland was reacting like it did the first time he leaned over me in that university library. I was 21 then. Too eager. Too naive. He was already a registered alpha intern at that time. Older. Smarter. Untouchable. But he touched me. Soft at first. A pen passed too slowly. A shoulder leaned in too close. Then firm. A hand guiding mine over legal briefs. His thumb brushing mine too long. And then, that one night. I was cold. He offered his coat. I was tired. He said sleep here. And I did. Not knowing the sheets smelled like his heat. Not knowing my scent would spike. Not knowing how much he'd take before pulling away with blood in his mouth and guilt in his eyes. I lost control, he whispered. This can't happen again. But it did. Once. Twice. Until the night I told him, I think I love you. And he never came back after that. Now here we are. Opposing counsels. Same case. Same table. Same room. And his scent stronger than ever. Did he come into Rut? Was he close? No. His body too calm for Rut. His eyes too cold. But his scent, it was testing me. Was he doing this on purpose? I swallowed. Tried to steady my voice. Motion denied, the judge said. I didn't even know what motion it was. I just nodded. He passed the file my way, again touching mine. Again not looking. Was this a game for him? Or punishment? I looked at his hands. Still the same, long fingers, clean nails, a faint scar near his thumb from when we fought over a broken coffee mug. I'm not fragile, I told him back then. You're not, he whispered. That's the problem. My hands trembled. He finally glanced at me. Just a second, maybe less, but I felt it. My gland pulsed again. He smelled it. I know he did. Because his nostrils flared just slightly. His lips pressed tighter. And that little crack in his facade. It told me everything. He remembered too. He still knew my scent. Still recognized it. Still reacted. I gripped my pen harder. Anything to keep my hand from reaching up to cover my neck. But he already knew. The pink glow on my skin must have already shone under the collar. He leaned just an inch closer. Too close? My heart raced. My instincts screamed. Not here. Not now. Please. Long time, he whispered, just low enough that only I heard. My eyes widened. He smirked, then turned away. Like I was air. Like the bed. The scent. The bite. The night. All never happened. I sat down slowly. Legs too weak. I wanted to run. But this was my court. My case. My win. I would survive this. But my gland, it still wanted him. And that scared me more than anything. I was new. Fresh out of law school. My hands still shook when I held legal briefs. My breath still caught when someone said my name out loud in the corridor. I was soft. I knew that. Everyone saw it. But him, he noticed it differently. The first day he walked into the legal archives. The air shifted. I remember the exact sound of his boots. Heavy. Slow. Measured. His coat dripped from rain. Even though the hallway was dry. The scent came first. Clean like cold wind, bitter like wet earth. My body reacted before my mind. My scent spiked. Not strong. Just exposed. Like I forgot to guard myself. I pressed my hand to my neck too late. My gland had already pulsed once. He looked at me, direct. No hesitation. His eyes, gray, sharp, unreadable, locked onto mine for maybe 2 seconds. Then he looked away. Not a single word. Not a smirk. Not a nod. Just walked past me and sat. But that night, I couldn't stop thinking about him. The scent clung to my skin like leftover storm. Was he ignoring me, or noticing too much? Next morning, I found my books. Same table, but different. Tabs added, cases highlighted, notes in small, sharp handwriting I didn't recognize, until I saw his initials at the top of the margin. RL, he had read everything. I held the book close, smelled faint coffee and storm again. My heart pounded. Why would he do this? Why help a new intern like me? Maybe it was nothing. Maybe he did this for everyone. But I checked other desks. No one else had notes. That day I tried to thank him. But he walked past again. Just like before. I started sitting earlier, just to feel his presence when he walked in. He always came exactly 8:10 a.m. Same coat, same scent. And I, like a fool, would spray cheap blockers 10 minutes before. But they never worked well. My gland always flared when he was near. I didn't understand why. He hadn't touched me. He hadn't even smiled. But still, my scent responded. My body, it wanted something I couldn't name. One evening I dropped my pen under the table. Bent to pick it. He was sitting across, silent. As I sat back up, our knees brushed. Accidental. Light. But his eyes snapped up immediately. I froze. That was the first time he spoke to me. "You're not hiding well," he said. Voice low. Firm. I blinked. Mouth dry. I wanted to answer, "I'm not trying to," but I couldn't. I just looked down. He stood. Walked away again. That night I couldn't sleep. His voice kept echoing. "You're not hiding well." Why did it sound like a warning? Or maybe a promise? Days passed. He stopped writing in my books. But his scent lingered on every file he touched. I started memorizing that scent. Storm, coffee, leather, and something under it, something sharp and restrained. Like he was holding back. Then one morning he sat next to me. Not across. Next. Close enough that our elbows touched. I didn't dare move. Didn't breathe. He slid a case brief toward me. "You missed a clause," he murmured. I stared at it. Not the paper, his hand. Long fingers. Pale skin. That same faint scar on his thumb. I nodded. "Sorry. Don't be," he said. "You're still learning." That was the first kindness. The first softness. And it hit harder than any touch. His scent was stronger that day. Closer. I kept my face down, but my gland pulsed again. So embarrassing. So warm. Like my body wanted to lean toward him, curl into his coat, bury my face in his shoulder and just, no. I couldn't. He was an alpha. High-ranking. Respected. And me? I was still figuring how to stand tall without trembling. But my body, it didn't care. It reacted to him like moon pulls tide. Unstoppable. That evening I stayed late. Thought maybe he already left. I needed space. Silence. But then I felt it. Before I even turned around. His scent. He was standing behind me. I didn't look back. "Still here?" he asked. My heart almost stopped. Yes. Why? I needed to revise something. Silence. Then, footsteps. He walked past. Toward exit. But stopped. "You react too much when I'm near." I turned slowly. He was staring at the floor. "I can't help it," I whispered. He looked at me. "That's dangerous," he said. "I know." He didn't move. I didn't breathe. Then he walked away again. No warning. No touch. No goodbye. But I felt it. Something in the air changed. Next morning he didn't come. Or the day after. Or the next. I kept going. Kept working. But my gland didn't pulse for anyone else. Just his scent, even in memory, could make my chest ache. M'assume the main. Foolish. But even now, when I close my eyes, I still smell rain. I started staying late. On purpose. pretending to revise case notes, pretending to work. But truth, I was hiding. From him, from the way my body trembled when he passed, from the way my scent spiked even with blockers, from the way I wanted something I wasn't supposed to want. Alpha, Senior, him. I counted his footsteps each day. 8:10 arrival, 7:35 leave. I waited until 8, then packed slowly, careful not to cross paths. But that night, rain poured hard, thunder loud, office power flickered once, then twice, and he was still inside. I saw his shadow near the end of the hall. Too late. My heart dropped. I turned, fast, but the hallway lights buzzed, and the door clicked shut behind me. Rain hit glass hard. I was trapped. He stood near the exit, coat half wet, tie loose, hair damp, his scent, different. Spiked, raw, sharp. I knew that scent. Alpha not in rut, but close, on edge. He didn't speak, just watched. I stepped back. My gland twitched once. I cursed under my breath. The blocker was wearing off. He noticed. Of course, he always did. Why do you hide from me? His voice was deeper in rain, less polished. I froze. I don't, I whispered. He stepped forward. Then why cheap suppressants? My fingers clenched my bag tighter. I have to. No, you don't. You're my senior, I said. So. It's wrong. His steps stopped, just inches from me. His presence heavy. Warm breath near my cheek. My throat tightened. I looked down. Avoided his eyes. If you say it, he said, I'll stop. Say what? I asked, barely breathing. That you don't want me. My lips parted. But no sound came. He waited. 1 second. 2. I didn't speak. I couldn't. My scent betrayed me again. Gland pulsed. Faint glow. Shame burned. I turned. Ran. Didn't look back. He didn't follow. But his scent stayed. Stuck to my clothes. Inhaled in every breath I took that night. I cried in bed. Not because he touched me, but because he didn't. Because he waited for my words. And I failed. Again. Next morning he wasn't at his desk, or the next. Or after. But every time I smelled rain, my heart skipped. Every shadow looked like him. Obsession is quiet. It doesn't scream. It just sits inside your chest. Heavy. Waiting. And I let it grow. 2 years. I thought he disappeared. Maybe he forgot. Maybe he erased me like case files, clean, quiet, cold. I tried too. Changed cities. Changed courtrooms. Changed scents. But not even time could rewrite the memory of his breath on my skin. That scent, storm, leather, quiet heat. I never found it again in anyone else. Until that day. Court was loud. Cold, sharp like knives. I was focused. Sharp suit. Mask on. Then he walked in. No warning, just that same scent hitting me like a blow. I froze. My pulse jumped. My glands stirred instantly beneath the collar. No, not now. He sat across from me. Calm, still, like he didn't notice. Like we were strangers. But I saw it. The way his eyes flicked to my neck for half a second. The way his hand hesitated before flipping the file. He knew. He still knew. And my body remembered everything. After court I tried to leave fast. Avoid eye contact. Hide my scent. But the elevator door closed too fast. And he was inside. With me. Just us. Air too warm. His presence too close. I didn't speak. Neither did he. Seconds passed slow. Tick. Tick. Then he leaned in. Not much. Just enough for his voice to touch my ear. Still using the same blocker? My body stiffened. My breath caught. He lifted his hand. Slow. Careful. 2 fingers grazed my collar. Pulled it down gently. Exposing my neck. My gland. It was faintly glowing. Pink. Humid air made it pulse soft. Don't touch, I gasped. But he was already too close. His lips brushed the edge. Then his tongue. Warm. Slow. He licked my gland. Just once. My knees almost gave out. I gripped the elevator rail behind me, trying to breathe. My scent exploded. Floral, open, needy. Shit. No. Not here. His breath hitched. He whispered against my neck. Still sweet. Then softer. like a secret only I was meant to hear. Still mine. I'm not. I lied. My voice barely held. He paused. His teeth grazed just above my gland. Not biting. Not yet. But close. So close. I should have pushed him. I should have screamed. But I didn't. I just stood there, frozen. Trembling. Tears spilled silently down my cheek. Not from fear, from everything. From remembering. From wanting. He didn't notice. Or maybe he did and chose to say nothing. The elevator chimed. He stepped back, fixed his collar. Like nothing happened. I wiped my face, heart still racing. And when I walked out, I could still feel his breath on my neck. Still feel the warmth of his tongue. Still feel the way my gland pulsed for him. Not for anyone else. I hated it. I hated that I didn't hate it. I thought it was over. Just a moment. Just a mistake in that elevator. I told myself it meant nothing. Blocked harder. Smiled tighter. Avoided every hallway he might walk. But that scent, it kept chasing me. Then came the message. A cold, short email from his assistant. Mr. Liu has requested a private file review. Today, 6:45 p.m. office 7. I should have ignored it. I should have run. But I went. Maybe because some part of me was still hungry for the way he used to say my name. I stepped inside. The door clicked behind me. Silence. The blinds were closed. Lights dim. And then, that scent. It hit me like a wall. Hot. Heavy. Fermented heat thick with rut pheromones. Sharp cinnamon over raw musk. I couldn't breathe. I staggered back, hand covering my mouth. Why? Why would he call me like this? My heat flared instantly in response. My skin flushed, chest rising fast. I turned toward the door. Don't, came his voice. Low. Broken. Don't come close. I froze. He was behind the desk, jacket off, sleeves rolled, sweat on his temples, his breathing uneven, eyes bloodshot. No one else triggers it like you, he said, voice shaking. I tried, for years. My knees weakened. Gland tingled violently beneath my collar. The blocker was melting off me. I clutched the desk edge. This isn't fair, I whispered. Nothing about you ever was. He stood slowly, moved toward me like a storm. Each step raised the pressure. His scent coiled around me. I felt like drowning. You called me here on purpose? No. Then why now? Because this rut, he exhaled, trembling. It's not listening to me anymore. He reached out. Fingers grazed my throat. I jerked back. No. But his hand caught the back of my neck. Firm. Burning. My gland pulsed so hard I almost collapsed. I could barely stand. My legs weren't mine anymore. He leaned in, breath ragged. I told myself I'd never touch you again. Then don't, I said. But my voice broke. Weak, begging without meaning to. He pulled me closer. Forehead to mine. His body heat swallowed mine. Every instinct screamed danger, but my body, it melted. Scent glands fully open now. I could feel my own scent mix into the room. Soft floral, sharp panic. Say no, he whispered. I couldn't. His lips brushed my jaw. Then my neck. Then, the bite. It wasn't deep, not a full claim. But enough. Enough to tear a sound from my throat I didn't recognize. I collapsed in his arms. The whole world spun. My knees gave out. Everything burned. Heat. Shame. Want. I didn't know how long I lay there. His arms around me. His scent burying me. Somewhere between comfort and punishment. When I could speak again, I asked, why me? He held me tighter. Because no one else ever made me lose control like this. And that was the worst part. Because I didn't want to be special like that. I just wanted to be okay. But now I was ruined again. I ran. The morning after the bite, I packed without thinking. I didn't cry. I didn't even breathe properly. Just shoved files into a bag, erased my name from the door, canceled all court appearances, vanished. I changed cities, took small cases, legal aid. No one asked questions. I didn't give answers. I wore stronger blockers, new clothes, new scent. I told myself it was over, that I could forget. But I couldn't forget the way my body gave up in his arms. The way his scent swallowed me like drowning in warm storm water. I couldn't forget the way he whispered nothing at all. Like I was already his. Like there was no need to ask. Weeks passed. Then months. I started sleeping again. Until one night. A wrong street. A broken heat suppressant. The scent spiked too strong. I felt them before I saw them. Alpha scent. Cheap leather. Burnt cologne. Hey, pretty thing, one of them said. You smell early. I ran. Didn't get far. Something hit my side. Pain. Then, blackness. When I woke up, it was underground. Concrete walls. Damp air. No windows. No phone. My wrists were tied. My gland was burning. Not in heat yet, but close. They knew. You'll sell good, one of them said, licking his teeth. I wanted to scream. But I saved my strength. No one was coming. I knew that. No one knew where I was. I closed my eyes. Prepared myself. Until, that scent. That impossible scent. It slid through the vents like smoke. Cold rain. Burnt sky. Leather. Him. My body reacted before my brain. My gland throbbed. Not in fear. Recognition. Longing. He was close. Then the door slammed open. Gunshot sound of steel against wall. Step away from him, his voice said. Low. Furious. Alpha in full dominance. They laughed. Idiots. Didn't understand what kind of alpha he was. His scent exploded across the room. It was unbearable. It knocked one of them to his knees. The other tried to reach for me. Didn't even make it halfway. I didn't see what he did. Just heard bones snap, breath cut, then silence, then footsteps, then him. He knelt beside me. Didn't speak. Didn't touch. Just leaned forward slowly. Pressed his forehead against mine. Breath heavy. Heart racing. Our scents collided, violently, then softly. His over mine. Mine under his. Like puzzle pieces finally snapping back. My body went limp. My tears came fast. He still didn't speak. But I felt it. In his scent. He never stopped searching. Never stopped needing. Never stopped claiming me. Even when I ran. Even when I begged silently not to be found. He still came. And this time, he wasn't going to let go. I woke up in linen I didn't know. Soft. Clean. Unfamiliar. The air smelled like cedar wood, burnt tea, and faint lemon. Not hotel, not hospital. His scent layered over everything, but softer. Calmer. Like he'd been suppressing it. I blinked slowly. My body ached, but it wasn't pain, just weight. My wrist had a bandage. There was water on the nightstand. A folded shirt on the chair. And him. Sitting in the far corner. Quiet. His tie was off. Sleeves rolled. Eyes locked on the floor like it said something only he could read. I opened my mouth. My throat burned. Still I asked, why do you always find me? He didn't answer right away. The silence stretched so long I thought he wouldn't. But then, because I never stopped watching over you, my chest hurt. Not from the trauma. From that sentence. That quiet truth. You left me? I whispered. I didn't want to, he said. But I had to. Why? He finally looked at me, and I knew. I saw it. The guilt sitting behind his eyes like dust he never cleaned. Your father, he said. He made me promise. Said if I cared about your future, I'd disappear from it. My blood went cold. You promised my father. I was just an intern then, he said. Barely registered. A bastard alpha with no standing. He offered me a full-time contract in exchange for staying away. And you took it? I thought I was protecting you. I sat up slowly. The bedsheet slipped down my shoulder. My gland throbbed faintly. Not from desire. From memory. You knew about the arranged bond? He closed his eyes. Yes. My heart cracked. You let me get marked by someone else? Silence. Too long. Too loud. That was the answer. I swallowed down the taste of betrayal. I wanted to scream, but all I did was whisper, say something. He looked like he aged 10 years in 1 second. I thought it was the only way you'd be safe. Liar. He flinched. I pressed my palm over my chest, trying to control the tremble in my body. I begged you, I said. That night I begged you to choose me. I did choose you, he said. I just wasn't allowed to keep you. My scent faltered, collapsed. From warm to ice. I could feel it curling cold around me, dull and dying. He stepped forward, slow, like approaching something wounded. I didn't stop him, but I didn't meet his eyes either. If I had stayed, he said, voice rough, I would have ruined everything. You were meant to be untouchable. Pure, legal prodigy. Not bonded to some low-rank alpha with a broken family and no pedigree. I never cared about that. But they did. I looked at him now. Really looked. He was tired, but still powerful. Still dangerous. Still mine. And yet, not. I hate you, I whispered. His jaw tightened. But he didn't deny it, and that broke me more than anything. Because I wanted him to fight, beg, bleed. Instead he stood in silence, letting my pain echo off the walls like courtroom verdicts. And all I could think was, how many times did he watch from the dark? How many nights did he stop himself from coming to me? How many lies did he swallow to become the man standing here now? But none of it mattered, because he let me be claimed by someone who didn't even know my favorite color. And that truth lived deeper than any bite ever could. I sat at the edge of the bed, arms wrapped around myself. The city outside his window moved slow. Blurry lights, tired traffic, soft rain. But inside everything was still. He stood across the room back to me, hands clenched, like if he moved wrong everything would fall apart again. I could feel it, the heat in my neck, the faint throb in my gland. Not from need, not any, from memory, from ache. Then, his voice, quiet, cracked. I broke the bond last week. I turned sharply. What? He didn't look at me. Used my license, illegally. No one knows yet. My breath caught. You broke a registered bond? He nodded once. I stood feet trembling. Why? Because, he finally faced me. His eyes no mask now. Just raw. Because, I still want to mark you properly. Silence swallowed the room. He took a slow step forward. Not during rut, he whispered. Not because I lost control. Not because we were cornered. But because you chose me. Freely. With full truth between us. My heart. I could hear it. Loud in my ears. He reached into his coat. Pulled out a small black velvet box. Opened it. Inside, the suppressor ring. Snapped clean in two. I kept this, he said. Every night. On my table. Reminding me what I lost. I stared at it. Cold metal. Broken promise. And yet, my body leaned forward. Like my scent was already moving toward him. He placed it on the table gently. I know I don't deserve a second chance. I let you suffer. I made choices for you. Not with you. But he paused. Voice shaking now. I've fought cases for strangers for years. One for people I didn't care about. But this, he stepped closer. You're my only case that ever mattered. My throat ached. I looked at him. Really looked. Not as the alpha who left. But the man who stayed in the shadows. Who kept watching. Who never let go even when he should have. I didn't say anything. I walked to him. Slow. One step. Then another. He didn't move. Just waited. When I stood in front of him, I lifted my head. Let him see my eyes. Then I pressed my forehead to his. Soft. Shaking. My gland pulsed. Not because of ruts. Not because of accident. But because it wanted to. Because I wanted to. His breath hitched. I whispered. Then win me. He blinked. As yours. I said. Fully. His scent poured around me. Warm and deep, storm and silence. Longing and home. And for the first time in years, I let it in. Let it wrap me whole. Not as prisoner, but as promise. And this time, I didn't run.